Hello class, my name is Michelle Benson and my speech is on Narcan and why it is important. A few years back, a lady was walking through downtown Minneapolis and she came across a gentleman that was overdosing on opioids. She called 911 and for some unknown reason, because she wasn't affected by users or she wasn't a user herself, she just so happened to have Narcan in her purse. So she got it out and she administered it, and the gentleman woke up. Ambulance came, took him away. He lived. So that's what Narcan is. Narcan is the ability to make somebody to breathe again. So that's what it does. It blocks the opioid receptors in the brain, because the brain during an overdose gets so relaxed it forgets how to breathe. And so what the naloxone or the Narcan does is block those receptors from the opioids so that they can breathe again. So the brain says, hey, I gotta breathe. So that's what that is. And I was trained several years ago by the Steve Rumler Hope Network. The Steve Rumler Hope Network was created because Steve Rumler, after 8 weeks of being on opioids, reached out to a drug dealer because he was in pain and he overdosed and died. His fiance created the Steve Rumler Hope Network to distribute naloxone to those in need. My nonprofit is one of the places. We get about 50 kits a month and we go through them. So I'm going to tell you the steps. If you come across somebody overdosing, step 1 is call 911. Step 2 is try a sternum rub. That's where you put your knuckles together and you push them into the chest and you rub as hard as you can. If they don't elicit a reaction from that, then the next thing you want to do is administer the Narcan. If you have Narcan, Narcan is a nasal spray. That's a brand name. Naloxone is the generic name, and it's an injection. So if you have Narcan, then you administer the nasal spray, wait 2 minutes. If it doesn't work, administer another dose of the nasal spray. And you can keep doing this. This is not a drug that you can overdose on or have any side effects from. The only thing it does is tell the brain to breathe. If you have needles, the first thing you need to do is assemble the needle. Then you need to take out, they come with little vials, and you need to fill the syringe. And the best place to do it is in the thigh. You don't have to worry about denim or anything like that. These are strong, sturdy needles. They go through clothing, layers of clothing. The important thing is get it in the thigh, give them that medication. Same as with the nasal spray, wait 2 minutes. If they aren't breathing on their own, do it again. And you can keep doing that. I've heard of it taking up to as many as 8 tries. Here's an important side note though on the needles. Set them aside where nobody's gonna touch them. Just set them aside. And when the paramedics come, don't hand them the needles. Simply tell them where they are, let them pick them up, and they will dispose of them. This causes a less likely chance of a finger prick. And you don't want a finger prick when you just injected a substance abuse user, because you don't know if they have like hepatitis C or whatever. Anyway, the last thing I'm going to leave you with is a couple of statistics from the Centers for Disease Control. As of now, as of 2023, overdose was the leading cause of accidental injury death, and 70.6% of overdoses are because of opioids. Here's the thing though, when you have an establishment like we have with Planned Humanity and the nonprofit, we need you to know that people with access to clean supplies are 5 times more likely to seek treatment and stay in recovery. So that's what Narcan is, and that's what it does.